We are all connected in the great circle of life.
Hello, fellas. What the sitch? My name is Nick Hicks, Kim Possible Fans as one here, and oh boy, doing two today is the last day of 2024. Now it's time to talk about the terrible film that came out this year. To be honest, 2024 has been one of the second best years for movies. Like, come on, we got some bunch of underrated jam. We got some great movies such as Deadpool 3, a Deadpool and Wolverine, whatever you call it. And of course, Moana 2 and Inside Out 2, which my video called my top 10 best film of 2024 video will definitely be out later on tonight after I get done watching Gladiator 2 and Wicked and maybe Megalopolis. But however, this year gave up some terrible film that came out this year, which is animated film, comedy, horror, action, etc. Anyway, guys, so here's some of the movie I missed out, and thank freaking God I missed out. Like, honestly, I am not interested watching the stupid films such as the Crows remake, which I already heard that film sucks, and there was no need to watch that freaking movie, and I do not care less. That film is going to be on Stars, and bottom of this, I am not watching that piece of crap. And of course, there was a card game called Targona. I have no idea what that film is, and I ain't interested. And of course, here's the one film I missed out, which is another horror film called Afraid, which is a movie about an AI, which I am not watching a horror movie with AI. Which, honestly, guys, I am so grateful I choose my decision not to watch these movies. However, these are the movies on this list I actually watch. And I was saying to myself, there are much better deal of my time instead of watching these films. Well, honestly, guys, look at the bright side. At least this video will get 1 million likes. I really hope so. Anyway, guys, so due to I missed out some terrible film because 2024 has been one of the best years for movies. But however, I got some movies. It's in my dishonored mention. So let's get some dishonored mention, shall we? So here's all the movie. I think it was sorry. Let me try again. Sorry, guys. So honestly. Here we go. Anyway, guys, so today I am doing my top 10 worst movie of 2024. These are the movie I have no idea what the heck and I just watched, and these are the movie I think is very bad. And the number one spot is based one of the worst movie in the history of mankind. You already know what that film is? Stay tuned for my number one spot in this video. Yikes. Anyway, guys, so before I get this started, I have some dishonor to mention. These are the movie I think is very bad, and it didn't quite make on the list, which is Justice League Crisis on Infinity Earth Part 1, and last not least, Kung Fu Panda 4, aka one of the most let down animated film of the year. Anyway, guys, buckle up your seatbelt, everybody, and put on your mask. Now it's time to talk about the stinkiest film of the year. Let's get to it. Oh, Metal Web! I totally forgot that this film even exists. And it can show that has to be one of the second worst Sony Spider-Man universe movie I have ever saw in my entire life. Even I think Morbius is way worse, but still, Metal F is a piece of woke crap I ever seen from this universe. The story is all over the place, the direction was really god awful, and don't let me get started of the editing. The editing is absolutely choppy as heck, and the acting is so terrible. Well, honestly, guys, the only saving grace and the main reason why that this film get a 2 out of 10, at least Santa Sweeney is the only thing that keep my mind off this movie to be hated. But just because you have Santa Sweeney in this film, that doesn't mean this film is a perfect film to watch it on the freaking Valentine movie. And this film is up there with a Good Day to Die Hard, all tied as the worst movie got released on Valentine. And this film make Valentine look bad. I gotta be honest here, I was looking forward for the animated film of Garfield because I really hope this film will be even better than the god-awful 2004 one. But after I heard it's from the director who brought you Chicken Little, which is the most mean-spirited movie ever made, that is a bad sign. And it can show that this film is even worse than Chicken Little. Anyway, guys, so I did not like the Garfield movie. Even I think it's way better than the 2004 version. But honestly, that's not saying much because this has got to be one of the most generic and cliche typical animated film of the year because the story is too generic. Like seriously, we see that type of we see this type of story like a million freaking times. And of course, the character like Garfield himself, that does not sound like Garfield. It sounds like a cat version of Emmett because it sounds like Chris Pratt is acting like just Chris Pratt. At least, honestly, you can say whatever you want about him as Mario. At least he was saying, "What's the girl?" Yeah, anyway. At least he was saying that line in the Mario movie. At least he sound like Mario. When he voiced Mario, now that is a Mario that we know and like. And I was almost going to same thing with him as Garfield, but I gotta be honest here, he does not sound like Garfield. He sound like Emmett on the Seawood. And of course, you got Samuel L. Jackson as Garfield's father. The second worst performance that L. Jackson ever did since the Paul the Fury, The Legend of Stupid. And of course, one of the worst acting for this film, which is none other than Nicholas Houston as John. That does not sound like John at all. He sounds like Fix the Feel from Wreck-It Ralph, darn it. So, Harry Thomas picture. So, do you think If is on your list, on your top 10 worst movie of 2024? Well, buddy, you better take a look at this because this film is even worse than If. Guys, I like If. I'm a huge defender of that movie because I like imaginary movie. But I was really anticipated for this movie called Imaginary. But at the same time, ever since Blumhouse just doesn't even try at all because how in the world are you goes to make Megan but into Five Nights at Freddy's and Night Swim? It shows that I'm gonna be done with Blumhouse if they keep this crap up. Yeah, honestly, guys, Imaginary, oh my goodness, has to be one of the most lamest scary movie of the year because this film is not scary at all, and I thank God I did not watch the ending. You already know how this film going to end because this film is generic for the whole new level, and Blumhouse, you better not screw Megan 2.0. I really hope that film will be even better than this generic Blumhouse movie about a creepy teddy bear terrorizing everybody at the house. And why in the world that the human character got more attention more than this creepy teddy bear? If you want to watch a way better imaginary movie, just go watch If. What a embarrassing way to start January. Night Swim is a movie that the concept sounds interesting. I already know that some people think the concept is very silly, but to be honest here, I was kind of looking forward for this film, but after what I heard that the fact that this film is rated PG-13, nobody in their right mind want to see a horror movie of PG-13. I wish this film be rated R, have some blood and gore, but honestly, yeah, I'm probably Hollywood did not learn the lesson of releasing bad movie on January. And guys, I like January, but I'm getting sick of tired of that Hollywood is keep releasing some bad film on January. Stop it, it's annoying. No wonder that this film got a 20% on Rotten Tomato for the critic, and this film got a 42% for the audience, because this film is absolutely god awful. So god awful is not even freaking funny at all. The story is messy, the character is stupid, and of course the ending, one of the worst part of the movie, which is none other than the one man and turned evil because there was a creepy swimming pool. Let's get to the next movie before I get triggered, because that is got to be one of the second worst scene of the year.
I'm sorry, what the fuck was that?
You got that right, Baggy from Harrow's Hotel. This film was WTF what I just watched on Halloween Review Week. This film was a waste potential, because after I heard that this is the M. Night Shyamalan daughter very first movie, I was hoping that her style is going to be different than her father. But apparently, due to M. Night want to do his own thing, so that's why he just grabbed his daughter movie and make it to his own. No wonder that this film got bad review, because you better leave your daughter movie alone. This film was a waste potential, because I was really looking forward to it. I already know that the trailer sounds very odd, honestly. But to be honest, I was kind of alright for the trailer, but I gotta be honest, the trailer is way better than the actual movie. The story was very boring, and the character was very lame, and the acting was really terrible, and of course the ending was like, what the fridge was that ending? I really hope that this film would not get a sequel, because this film was setting up for the sequel. Now we're in the top 5. These are the top 5 movie. These are the movie that I just think is very awful and such embarrassing in this list. Which is none other than coming in number 5, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. One of the worst Zack Snyder movie since Rebel Moon Part 1 and Sucker Punch. My goodness, this film is very bad and very awful, which is not funny. Like, seriously, Zack Snyder, why in the world that you continuing making Rebel Moon movies? Stop it, because this Rebel Moon movie, because this is a waste potential. Like, this universe could have been even better than Star Wars. But this universe makes Star Wars look embarrassing in the action scene, which is constantly slow-mo and shaking the freaking camera. Like, for shaking the camera, this is not Michael Bay. And slow-mo action scene, it is getting old, Zack Snyder, because years ago we was interested for slow-mo action scene back in 2007, which is 300, which I might watch that film next year. But ever since Hollywood is so upsetting to do some slow-mo action scene, that's why they keep doing it for the Gods of Egypt, more like the Lion King ripoff. And now 17 years later, now the slow-mo action scene is still continuing. I already know that Twilight of the God have the slow-mo action scene, but let's be honest here, it's way better than the slow-mo action scene of Rebel Moon Part 2. But the action scene is not the worst aspect about this freaking movie. Honestly, one of the worst aspects about this freaking movie, which is none other than the song, sang by Jennifer Tuggs. Oh my god, that song. That is the worst aspect about this film. The song was really hilariously bad. The lyrics go like this. La 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 cola. Oh my goodness. It's stupid. Zack Snyder, you need to stop making Rebel Moon movie. People are not interested. Even even the Truth 31, even Netflix itself not interested about this universe. And yes, I already know that Mitchell is going to say, but nah, we got Rebel Moon Director's Cut, and Mitchell, I am not watching Rebel Moon Director's Cut because number one, I already saw Zack Snyder Director's Cut, which is better than the Snyder Cut, which is way better than Rebel Moon Rated R Cut. And I do not care that the Director's Cut, it's going to be the way more different movie, but to be honest, my director's cut on Storyfire is way more directioning more than Zack Snyder director's cut because, however, on probably director's cut will be even worse than the actual movie. Honestly, guys, I don't blame on people to skip in this film because this film was really boring and I didn't even bother. And I didn't even finish the movie. Like, this is how bad this film is. And seriously, this film was so bad, was so awful, and so boring that I didn't even finish watching the movie. Zack Snyder, just continuing making some good film. Don't give us Rebel Moon Part 3, and please don't give us Rebel Moon Animated Series, and please give us more season of Twilight of the God. I am so glad that Harry Steinfeld saved Netflix, which is none other than OK Season 2, boy! There is no question that Harold and the Purple Crayons, more like Harold and the Purple Stupid, because this film is just full of stupidity, that I am going to say right now, that this film right here is the most overrated movie of the freaking year. How on earth in those sweet tartar sauce, macaroni and cheese, that the fact that this film got a 90% for the audience? How on earth that this film got some praising review? Well, fellas, look at the bright side. At least this film got a 28% because I did not have fun watching Harold and the Purple Stupid. The story is just really random. The characters is just full of stupidities. And of course, Zachary Levi. Now I totally understand why that this film was a box office bomb. Because probably some people are getting sick or tired of Zachary Levi. And Zachary Levi, I understand that you are a father now. You got a kids. But I gotta be honest here. You gotta keep your career into a high note. Because this film just literally killing your career, honestly. And of course the characters like a most and poking eyes, honestly, whatever you call that freaking animal. And of course, you got a villain in the movie. There was no question that villain, like, I have no idea who the villain is, and honestly, I don't give a crap. This has got to be one of the third worst villain of the year, behind with the villain from the Saving Bikini Bottom, more like the Delmo, Texas movie, and of course the fish villain from Megamind 2. Oh, see, I forgot to talk about that movie. But I could be honest here. Don't ever make this type of film ever again, Zachary Levi, because this is literally killing your career. Yawn. Yep, that's my reaction when I was watching this North Fest as a movie called The Stranger Chapter 1. Oh my goodness. This film is the most boring horror movie of the year. This film just made me fall asleep in my dream. This film is absolutely a bored fest. Like, the story is lame and the characters, I have never seen a human character would be as bad as the two horror film that came out in 2012, which I don't even bother to say it. I don't even bother to show the picture of it. You already know what it is. I'm not stupid. Yeah, I have never seen a horror movie that had one of the worst written dialogue for human character I ever seen in the horror film, and now we all got it here for The Stranger Chapter 1. The human character, which is named Mia and Ryan. Those two are tied as the worst horror characters of the year, and one of the third worst human characters I have ever seen in my life. And the ending was choppy and stupid, and of course, this film was setting up to Chapter 2. I have never seen the original Stranger. I have never seen the one from 2018. But mark my word, the original Stranger looks way better than in comparing to this. And do you honestly think that I'm going to be watching Chapter 2 next year ever since I watched this Chapter 1 make me want to fall asleep? Yeah, that's what I thought. So nope, I am not watching Chapter 2, and stay tuned for why I won't watch The Stranger Chapter 2 coming next month on January.
Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
No, I'm Texas.
What's the difference?
You're alright, SpongeBob and Patrick. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheek movie, is truly a Dumbo, Texas movie. I can't believe why this film is a movie to celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. This has got to be one of the most disrespectful way to celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob deserved better than that, and thank freaking God that SpongeBob got even better than this disgraceful movie called the Sandy Cheek movie. This film was absolutely terrible to beginning to end. The character like Sandy Cheek, the Sandy Cheek, was my favorite character of SpongeBob SquarePants, but in this film, she is a very boring character, and don't let me get started of the animation. Oh my goodness. The animation, honestly, the animation's trying to be like the sponge out of the water, but let's be honest here. The animation from Sponge out of the water with the CGI is way better than it comparing to this. And SpongeBob, he just seriously turned into like a Jar Jar Binks of Nickelodeon, because SpongeBob has been annoying the crap out of me, and now I totally understand why Squidward did not like SpongeBob, and now I have the same impression as Squidward when I was watching this freaking movie. And of course, one of the worst characters in this film, which is none other than the villain. And don't let me get started of her backstory, and that backstory is the most scariest scene I have ever seen in my entire life, period. And of course, the song, like the opening song, the Squidward song, and of course, the Sandy Cheek theme song, the country style. That song just seriously made country roll from this grave. And Who Grew Me, every single song by Toby Keith is way better and way better than the Sandy Cheek theme song. Because the Sandy Cheek theme song, that is the worst country song I have ever listened to in my entire life. And of course, the story. The story sounds random. Like seriously, when you look at the title called The Sandy Cheek Movie, you was ready for the origin story of how Sandy Cheek become the character that you know and love, and honestly, you can go to Texas to Bikini Bottom. But this film is all about Sandy and SpongeBob saving Bikini Bottom, and of course, saving Mr. Krabs and Squidward and all the gang. This film just literally a SpongeBob 3. Even this film is not a canon of SpongeBob, which I refuse to call it canon. Like, I really hope the Plankton the movie, and I really hope the SpongeBob actual third movie is going to be way better than this terrible film called the SpongeBob movie, called Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheek movie. Dumbo, Texas movie. Am I right, folks? Now it's time for the dark territory. Now let's get to the number one spot. And this is the one movie is belong in the scary zone. There's the movie. I have never seen a movie. It would be a nightmare to the filmmaker, to the studio, and to the people who was working on this film. And there was no other DreamWorks film I just think is even bad and even atrocious, as bad as the Bob's Baby duology and Spirits Unlimited. Unlimited, whatever you call it. Anyway, the number one worst movie I have ever seen from this year, and one of the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. What's another then? Of course, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate is on this list because this has got to be one of the most insult DreamWorks film I have ever seen in my life since the Boss Baby duology. Because this film makes the Boss Baby duology look like a much better film than comparing it to this. That's how bad this film is, and this film is so embarrassing. Not the fact that this animation is an insult to my YouTube channel, and I'm changing it right now. Because I have never seen some other terrible film in my lifetime, but instead we got this. Like, seriously, how in the world that we go to the best Megamind movie that came out 2010, which is 14 years ago. It's been 14 years since the first Megamind movie started at all. How in the world that we go to the fantastic one, but into an insult one? Like, seriously, Universal and Peacock, you will be ashamed of yourself. The story is very stupid and generic to the whole new level. This has got to be one of the worst stories I ever seen in the movie history. And of course, the character, like Megamind, he's very unlikable. And of course, Chum, that is not Chum. Like, seriously, I'm gonna call him a minion. I have no idea why in the frick they completely change his name to Minion into Chum. That's stupid. And of course, Roxanne. She was very attractive in the first movie, but in the sequel, she turned into like a freaking token. And of course, the little girl that she woke up to the Megamind, trying to be like a female version of Megamind, trying to be better than him. I got a bad feeling that she's a freaking Mary Sue. And of course, the Fishy Man as a main antagonist. Who in the monkey want to see a Fishy Man as a main villain? That is stupid. Nobody wants to see that. And of course, you got the Syndicate. We do not see it. We do not need them at all because they were not in the first movie. Like, have you not even seen the first movie? Like, have you not even bothered to rewatch the first movie? Megamind does not have any friend. The only friend that he has was another of the minions. That's the only friend that he has. He did not have a friend called the Syndicate. And of course, we got some generic scene when Megamind's trying to lie that he's a villain. We already seen that for the millionth time for animated future. We do not want to see that. And of course, you got the worst scene of the film, which is none other than Megamind have his close up in the camera while dancing and singing. Let's get to the ending of this video. Now you can see why that Megamind 2, the Doom Syndicate, more like the Doom Trashiness, is the worst movie I have ever saw in my life. And don't worry, stay tuned for my 30-minute video rant of me talking about this film on the anniversary. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of ragement. I can't do much ragement because my brother Chris is asleep and my mom will hear me, which, yeah. Anyway, guys, so not just Megamind the Doom Syndicate, more like the Doom Trashiness and the Doom wokeness. It's not just the worst movie of 2024, but it's the worst movie I have ever saw in my life. Well, fellas, that was my top 10 worst movies of 2024. And tell me, what is your list of your top 10 worst movie of 2024 in the comment section below? It can be anything like comedy, horror movies, and of course comedy, action movie, whatever. And of course the movie based on streaming, whatever. Anyway, and stay tuned for my top 10 best film of 2024 first thing in the morning after I get done posting my new intro and my outro. And don't worry, it will have Kim Possible music in both intro and outro. Well, guys, 2024 had been a fantastic year for me, but not as bad as 2020. And we all agree that 2020 is the worst years ever. Anyway, guys, so you want to know what my next video is going to be? Well, you better wait and see next year. So I'll see you guys in 2025. And no cyberbullying this time, you knucklehead piece of crap. And of course, this is Nick Hicks, Kim Possible Fan 2001 signing off. And this communicator is turning off for the night. And this is Wade signing off. And you guys have a fantastic New Year's. And I'll see you guys in 2025. And once again, no cyberbullying and no drama on YouTube. I'm sick of it. I already know that is life, but people are just doing this on purpose. Stop it. And my New Year's resolution, I want people to stop bugging me for another Q&A. You're gonna get another Q&A next show, so take that. Anyway, this video signing off, and you guys have a fantastic New Year's. This is not as bad as 2020. 2020, go fix yourself. And the cyberbullying we have for this show, go fix yourself too. And of course, the woke community, go fix yourself. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic 2024 last day, and I'll see you guys in 2025.
Like a bolt out of the blue.
Fate steps in. Ooh.